Jay Zacharias, founder of triathlonexperts.com. Tip 7 is a really important one if you want to have any longevity in the sport. Not taking enough time to recover is one of the most common things, whether it's in training and also following a race. And there's always stories of the folks out there that can go and do a big race on one weekend and go back out and do another big race on the next weekend. And that's great that they can do that. But most of us probably can't do that. We don't have the years of training that it would be required to be able to recover from a big effort in then have a short break and do another big effort. So what you want to focus on is getting properly recovered. And one of the big things that you can do from a training side, not a nutrition side, that's kind of separate, but from a training side is to avoid any of the intensity in the week or two following the race. It may be up to 3 weeks depending on the length of the race. If you're doing an Ironman, I would say give yourself 2 to 3 weeks before you start adding in intensity. So the general rule that I like to use, if you're doing an Ironman, the week following the Ironman, very simple stuff. If anything, maybe go for a walk, do some light swimming, those kinds of things to keep loosened up. And then you might get back into some more aerobic type activity, but stay away from intensity. It's kind of a weird thing when you get into the long race in particular. What I found is that in the weeks following an Ironman, once I start to recover, I feel great and I've got great fitness, and it's real easy to jump back into doing some hard training. What we tend to forget though is that mentally we haven't completely recovered. We use a lot of mental energy out there, particularly in the longer races. So even with a half Ironman, you have to be very careful. And because I've had this happen to me where I didn't communicate well with someone who was helping me with a training program years ago. And I did a big half Ironman race on Saturday. It was a big effort, and he had me right back doing some intense cycling workouts the following Wednesday and all those kinds of things. And I found out that when I got ready for my next big race, which was a few weeks later, I was really kind of burned out. So you have to really be careful on the recovery, slow it down after the big races, after big efforts, even during training. Make sure that you've taken time to recover, whether you need a massage, get some compression tights, put your legs up, but keep the effort simple till you're sure that you've recovered after a couple of days before you go back out and start hitting it really, really hard again. You'll be able to push them a little closer as you become more fit, but the general rule is on race day in particular, if you've gone out and if you've actually run the Ironman race, the marathon or the half marathon, or even in the Olympic distance where you've really put in a hard effort throughout, give yourself time to recover. If you ended up just walking through it, the 10K or the half marathon or the marathon, you'll probably recover much faster because it's really that run at the end that seems to take the most out of all of us. But follow that guidelines, listen to your body, because the recovery period, like the taper period, is a bit of art combined with science. So you have to learn what works for you and be very careful not to overdo it too soon. And you'll have them, that way you'll be able to recover, you'll be able to race much sooner, get back to training much sooner, and you'll increase your ability to have longevity in the sport and reduce, probably more importantly, reduce the risk of injuries that could interfere with other parts of your life, not just your racing.